Hey there, this is Ryan, CEO of KHB Construction. We do kitchen remodels in Manteca all the time, and I want to share with you the pros and cons of your next kitchen remodel, some of our experiences with the city of Manteca, as well as some of the homes in Manteca, and just kind of a general what you should and shouldn't do in your next kitchen remodel in Manteca, California. So in Manteca, it's a weird location because you have a lot of small contractors. You don't really have any large contractors in the residential space that are based out of Manteca, but you have a lot of large kitchen and bathroom modelers that service Manteca. And so they will travel there. Maybe they're in Salida or Turlock, Modesto, Livermore. Like you're kind of in that junction where you have the one-man shows all the way up to the 20 to 50 employee operations. So the biggest thing we've seen is that when you're getting prices for your kitchen remodel, you're gonna get that $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 price, and you're gonna get that $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 price on the same scope of work. And as a homeowner here, and what I've always recommended specifically in these situations is get bids from one group or the other. You know, do your research, because if you're getting 10 bids, every business will have a different price on your kitchen based on the value that they bring to you, the consumer, the timeline they bring, the amount of overhead they bring, and the quality and experience that they have. So that's the biggest thing and most common thing that we run into in Manteca is the variety of price. So outside of price, let's talk about some criteria that you should be looking for in your next contractor for your kitchen remodel, specifically in Manteca. Some of the big criteria points that you should be looking for is gonna be timeline and schedule. It's gonna be craftsmanship, so finish. It's also gonna be amenities. So that's gonna be, do they have interior design? Do they have architecture? If you're taking out walls, do they have an engineer on staff? Things of this nature that will bring more value to you as the consumer. So first, timeline and schedule. How long did it take for you to get your bid back on your last remodel? If your kitchen remodel took longer than I would say 2 weeks to write up for that contractor, how is that experience gonna be once they actually break ground in the kitchen? A kitchen remodel for a like for like, which means going back with the same appliances, same location, no longer than 6 weeks. If it's past 6 weeks, there's an issue somewhere. Custom kitchens, you know, it's case by case. But if you're getting a proposal and it's taking 4 to 6 weeks just to get you a proposal back, how long do you think that kitchen's gonna take? That would be my first red flag, is the timeline to get your proposal. And so that is a good way to say, okay, I got 10 bids, only 3 of them got it back to me within 2 weeks. I'm gonna talk to these 3. The other 7 are now irrelevant because I wasn't a priority for them. So you're down to those 3 contractors now. The second criteria you should be looking for is craftsmanship. And craftsmanship is an easy one to look for. They should have an Instagram page, a Facebook, a website. If they had the attentiveness and productivity to get back a proposal within 2 weeks to you, they actually care about what they're doing. So they should care about what they're putting online. They should have great photos on Instagram. You should be able to ask them for at least 2 references of, hey, a kitchen maybe in Manteca that is very similar to mine, and the finishes that went into it, the price point that it came out to. You should be able to get references on craftsmanship. We even offer to give you homeowners' numbers that were so ecstatic with our work, vouching for our craftsmanship. So that's a big thing, and that's the next criteria point. Hopefully that will weed out 1 to 2 contractors out of the 3. It'll make your situation a little bit easier to pull the trigger. Another piece of criteria you should be looking for in your next remodel is amenities. There's a lot of different amenities when it comes to construction, and I'll talk about the higher end amenities and the lower amenities. First and foremost, every single kitchen remodel needs a design. And the city of Manteca, they're gonna want your design for the permit submittal, to issue you a permit to go through with the project. And so if this is a design build company, they should have in-house designers, architects to consult with you, work with you, do 3D renderings, detailed floor plans. They also should have an office manager who is out here doing the logistics, ordering the materials, staging the project, coordinating with the city of Manteca for the permit submittal and ETAs on when the submittal is going to be complete, when we have a permit in hand. They should have that role in their full design build process. So we're looking at an interior designer / architect looking at an operations manager that is taking control of the project from start to finish, talking with the city. And then we're looking at a project manager. The project manager's job is to make sure that everything from design and architect and operations managing side, permits, ordering, logistics, comes to fruition and is very efficient through the whole project. So they should have a manager for your project that is taking care of the schedule, taking care of materials getting on site, taking care of manpower allocation for the project, overall 30,000 foot view of timeline, communication with you. As you can see, we have 3 full-time positions now working specifically on your project. That is the amenities that you should be looking for in a high-value kitchen remodel in Manteca. The lower end of things. This is where you're getting the $10,000, $20,000 price tags on kitchens. You aren't getting what we just talked about. You are getting hey, here's a list of everything I need, you go buy it, right? You go to Bedrosian's, you go to Arizona Tile, you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, you go pick out all your stuff, right? Make sure it's here. Here's my list. This is everything I need to put in. This is the contractor talking to you, the homeowner. Here's my list, go get everything I need. On the flip side of that, permits. You're not gonna know what's happening in your kitchen. Your permit submittal pack to the city is gonna be most likely 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that was used with a ruler and a pen, and it laid out, hey, this outlet's moving here, this wall's coming out, this is going here, this is going here. We'll put pretty paint on the walls, and that's the kitchen remodel. Here you go, City of Manteca, please give me a permit. The city will, in a lot of ways, especially if there's no structural components to the project, they will submit a permit, but you, the homeowner, will be in the dark. You will not have a 3D representation of what is actually happening in your kitchen. You will not have a existing and proposed floor plan of what is moving where. What type of finish is going here on this backsplash? What type of stain is my island? What type of paint color is my perimeter cabinets? You don't have the detail that you get. And the last thing here with the lesser price point and the lesser amenities is management. Most likely, most of them are in the field directly producing the work, and to keep up and keep making a profit, they have to have multiple projects running at a time. So they might be running, let's say 2 to 3 projects. Yours is starting while one might be finishing and one might have subs on it, and then you get put into that mix and it's just a revolving cycle, right? But with only so many people, they can't be on a project every single day. So that's where the value comes in. They don't have the management or the manpower to fulfill your kitchen in a timely manner the way other larger companies may be able to. So those are kind of the overall amenities, the pros, the cons, what you should look for, maybe things you might want to avoid, and that all ties into price tag. So the price points aren't comparable because the services aren't comparable. It's not even the same ballpark. We're not even in the same league because these people here may do great work, but they don't have the infrastructure or business to actually support a high price tag. If they were the same price as this company but didn't offer any of the amenities, that's the definition of ripping someone off. They can't charge 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 plus $1,000 for a kitchen remodel because they don't bring that value to the table. Now these guys up here, they do bring that to the table, and it's their job to show you the value of X, Y, and Z, everyone catering to your project, communication, timelines, all that good stuff. That's their job to communicate, hey, this is why we're 80,000, this is why they're 20,000. And that's what it is. If you want a used car, go get a used car. If you want a Maserati, get your Maserati. But that's your call. And you have to make those things kind of in a snap decision. Like, what does this construction company bring to the table compared to this one? Their price is $20,000 more. Why? Do your research, look at their company, look at their Instagram, their social media channels, ask for referrals, get references. All of these things are important. In Manteca, like I said, you guys are in a weird paradox of a lot of small contractors, not a lot of big contractors, but big enough contractors to come serve you. Do your homework, call around, and make sure you're being realistic when you're talking to contractors about what they even bring to the table amenity-wise. So we talked a lot about what you can get and different options from different contractors, different amenities, price points, processes, timelines, all of that stuff for your new kitchen remodel. I do want to talk a little bit about us now and specifically what we bring to the table for homeowners in Manteca that work with us. So our process is a design build. So we are a full service interior design firm as well as a construction company. So we will take care of everything from renderings, colors, material selections, purchasing, logistics, all the way through the last touch-up paint on your project. To get this process started, it's all through our website. So that is kitchenhomeandbath.com, and you'll most likely be on the kitchen page, and at the top right, you'll have a Get Your Quote button. We have a simple form to fill out with your name, address, some photos of the project, as well as a description, and that goes straight to our inbox. And once that is there, we reach out to you within 48 hours or so, and we talk about that project, set up an on-site consultation, start working through design, working through the proposal, and then we move forward with a construction contract, and now we start the full-blown design process on your kitchen. The design process typically takes about 2 to 4 weeks, where you have a dedicated designer working with you, doing 3D renderings, material selections, purchasing, colors, all the stuff that's going into your new kitchen. Once that is complete, we order everything with our operations manager, and we have an operational handoff. So the designer, the salesperson, ops manager, and superintendent or project manager on the project will be on site going through the full scope of work, talking about the design, talking about the little nuances in the project, and really getting primed for a smooth transition from design to operations so we can fulfill the kitchen as fast as possible. Once design has handed that off to operations, you are now communicating directly with our operations manager. This looks like daily messages, a live interactive schedule, daily logs with photos and information on what happened that day, what's happening the next day, and you'll get that throughout the whole life of the project until you sign off that this project is complete and you are happy with everything, and then that enacts our warranty. And we have a 10-year, 5-year, 1-year warranty that protects every aspect of what we touched in your project. So even when we're done, we're really not leaving you forever. If something happens, if a paint is chipped or if a cabinet door is faulty, we stand behind everything we do and we will fix that for you. We were built for you, the customer. We have all these amenities to make the homeowner feel like they are taken care of, that they understand what's gonna happen in their space, and that they're completely comfortable with this remodel. We're not fly by night, we're not shady, and we are more expensive than a lesser tier company. Like everything else in life, you kind of get what you pay for. If you like what we talked about here, if you want to learn more, fill out our form at kitchenhomeandbath.com. It's the Get Your Quote form. Fill it out and I will hop on the call personally with you to talk about your kitchen remodel, the nuances in Manteca, what we gotta look for permit submission, timelines, what our designers kind of look for in modern kitchens, traditional kitchens, any different style of kitchen that you're looking for. So fill the form out, hop on a call with me, and let's make that kitchen beautiful again.